Arguably the most exciting thing about this upcoming High Seas set, besides pirates, of course, pirates are the most exciting thing, but the other most exciting thing about this upcoming set is none other than the fact that we are finally, after years and years, getting access to the brand new Necromancer class. Yes, that's right. All the way back in 2019, when Flesh and Blood released, the lore book came out and said, these are the classes that you can expect to see later down the road, and Illusionist was listed, and Assassin was listed, and Necromancer was listed. And spoiler alert, now we are going to be receiving it. But it's coming in a way that I think some people didn't expect, me included, because it is a dual class hero that is introducing Necromancer to us in the form of Gravy Bones. He is both a pirate as well as a Necromancer, and not only is he that, he's bringing his best friends along with him, his crewmates, like for example Chum, his friendly first mate, also named Chum because he's probably Chum for the sharks. Anyway, regardless, Chum here is also a pirate Necromancer card, meaning that he is a dual class card, which is the first of its kind because he's tied to a dual class hero. All this to say, Necromancer is going to be very exciting, and I have some theories that I want to share with you about this class, because I don't necessarily think this is the last time, even in the next couple of sets, that we will be seeing Necromancer, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so first things first. In this upcoming set, we know we are getting pirates and other classes combined. We're going to have a pirate ranger, we're going to have a pirate mechanologist, and of course, as you see up there, we have a pirate Necromancer. And what does that mean for the card pool? Because think of this, we are introducing a new hero, and specifically a new class with this hero, into the game of Flesh and Blood. So that class is going to need a card pool to build from. Now, the cool thing about this set is that these are dual class heroes, which means you can tap into multiple different classes to build it. Unfortunately for this exact hero, he can't tap in, if you're building like in Classic Constructed, he can't tap into the same amount of cards that the other two can, and let me show you why. So here's the card distribution for all the classes in the game. And of course, you look here, this is Guardian, and Guardian has Guardian class cards, and they have Elemental Guardian class cards, and Earth Guardian class cards, and Ice Guardian cards. You've got Lightning, so on and so forth, right? So these are all the different talents alongside of basic class cards and equipment and weapons and so on and so forth that a Guardian could access, right? Specifically for this upcoming set, here are all the Mechanologist cards. Now, there's a lot of Mechanologist class cards because they don't have talents, and so there's a lot of cards for the Mechanologist class. There are a number of Mechanologist equipment and weapons and heroes and so on and so forth, right? So our upcoming pirate mechanologist named Puffin is going to have a lot of class cards to work with if you wanted to build within or without this brand new set. If you just wanted to build Puffin as a straight up mechanologist, you can do that with a myriad, a cornucopia even, of class cards available. And then of course you can splash in the pirate cards as well, because we can assume that this set is going to be built from a draft perspective around the pirate class cards and these tie-over class cards, and maybe they even bring back the hybrid where you're a pirate and a necromancer. You can mix those cards, but you can't mix them if you're a ranger, that sort of thing that they did with Outsiders. So if that's the draft setup, if that's how they built the set, well, from an outside and Classic Constructed or Blitz perspective, if you want to play Mechanologist, you would be able to tap into these cards, the new cards that are presented, and the Pirate class cards, because, Puffin has access to those. Same thing for Ranger. Ranger will also, in the form of Marlin, will also have access to all of this class cards, right? Alongside of any pirate cards and any pirate ranger cards that we've already seen. And of course, we have seen a good chunk of those. As you look over here, there are, there's one right there, King Shark Harpoon, a pirate ranger arrow attack. So this is a card you could tap into, or you could just play a bunch of ranger cards. And presumably you could play a bunch of pirate cards if we get a big pirate card set, like a set of cards, right? So what does this mean for Necromancer? Wow, why did it freak out like that? That was weird. Necromancer doesn't have any other crossover. It is the first of its kind. Gravy Bones is the first of his kind. He has no other parallels, so whatever he gets from this set for the time being is what you can build him with. Now, why does that sound familiar? Well, that's exactly what we went and experienced all the way back here in Dynasty when Assassin was newly added to the game of Flesh and Blood. Heck, even going back to Monarch when Illusionist was added to the game of Flesh and Blood, the same sort of thing ended up happening. We got one set, a singular set, with which to build that hero, and anything that we had access to from that set is what we could use, and generic cards as well, and that was it. And that was basically enough to build one deck for one hero with really no changes. And if the deck didn't function, the hero wasn't good, and that was Arachne. But after that, the class cards got padded out because Assassin came around again with Outsiders and fleshed out the class more. It gave us more class cards in the Assassin card pool with which to build both the new hero in Azuri alongside of the old hero in Arachne. Gave you more options. So this pattern of introducing a class and then following it up by fleshing it out more, I think we're going to see with Necromancer. And how are they going to manage that? Well, we have High Seas coming on the horizon very soon, in a couple of months. High Seas is going to release and show us the Necromancer class in concert. And then the set after this, a lot of people believe is going to be a Savage Lands or a Brute set. Brutes aren't in this set. I thought they would be. I honestly did. I thought Brute might make it. But they're not. And they haven't been featured in quite a while, as you can see here. So it stands to reason, there it was, stands to reason that Brutes are going to be given some love in the next set. And what better way to give love to Brutes than to bring them back to their home, the Savage Lands. That's what everyone thinks. It's going to be a Savage Lands set. This really kind of wasn't a Savage Lands set. It was definitely more of like a Gladiator Arena set. And so if that's the case, it's really the only region we haven't visited. And you know who fits in a Savage Lands set? Necromancer. We even have cards with art of Necromancers doing their thing on them already. This is a Necromancer that is raising this Brute from the dead, literally reincarnating a Brute. Like, this is already there. This exists, and it fits perfectly. I get it that it's a tinfoil hat, but look at how this functioned. Dynasty comes out, Outsiders fills it in. We can even go back to Monarch. Monarch comes out and introduces Illusionist. Tales of Aria does nothing, but right after it, Everfest fills it out a little bit, okay? So this sort of functions in a way to let us see how Necromancer can be introduced and then fleshed out more with a Savage Lands set. I think this is actually what's going to happen, which means that Necromancer is going to make its way into the next set as well. I really do think Necromancer is going to be here to stay, and heck, maybe even Cast Bones Lady is an example of that. Being able to sort of peer into the future and raise things from the dead. It looks kind of Necromancer-y to me, at least a little bit, right? I mean, it's not too far off. If this was a hint towards Necromancer with them raising them from the dead, I mean, this doesn't seem like a terrible stretch. It's not the furthest stretch. But you know what? It doesn't stop there, because remember, the next set that we get is going to be the final set of the year. It's going to be the final major set. And if that's a Savage Lands set that has Necromancer in it, well, I think we could have 3 sets in a row with Necromancer. And if they end up skipping because they just don't want to put Necromancer in Savage Lands, the next time we're going to see it is certainly in the first set of 2026, because they've already said that Monarch number 3 is going to be the first set of 2020. Well, they didn't say it's the first set. They said it got pushed to 2026. I think they might have even said early 2026. Quote me down in there in the comments below. Let me know what they said. But Monarch 3, wrapping up the trilogy of the story, which is the mainline story of Flesh and Blood right now, is going to be bringing us back to the War of the Monarchs between the light and the shadow talents. And that is 1000% going to be the next time we see Necromancer, if not before, in a Savage Lands set. Which means I would put money that we could see 3 sets in a row of Necromancer. And why is that important? Because in doing so, you would build this class out. Necromancer would get built out very quickly, allowing anyone that wants to, come into this game to be able to access the class via an armory deck, and then build a couple of heroes within that class in any way, shape, or form they want. And keep in mind, it is a class with a bunch of allies. And so if you're coming from a game that plays dudes on a board, this is not a bad way to interface with a new game, especially if Necromancer ends up being easy to understand and relatively easy to pick up from a new player perspective as far as like the game play is concerned. So I think this is a smart play, and I would put money down that we are getting Necromancer in at least 2 of the next 3 sets. And I would not be surprised if Necromancer ends up being in the next 3 sets overall. We get it in High Seas, we get it in the Savage Lands set, and then we get it in Monarch the Threepening, which is totally what they should call it. Monarch 3 Electric Threegaloo. No, that's not a good name. I'm sure they'll come up with something good. Is this just way off base, or is the fact that we need to fill out this Necromancer part just like faking me out? Let me know in a comment below, because I'm very curious to know what you think. Also, if you watched last weekend's coverage and you enjoyed Sam and me and Mansant bringing that to you, let me know that in a comment below as well, because I had an absolute blast in Milwaukee. It was so much fun to get back on the commentary train. So, as always, everybody, make the number go to the other number, and thanks for watching.